What up, nation? Welcome to another edition of the Wise Tech NFL DFS Wise stream. CK013 here. You can find me on Twitter at CK_013. Joined once again by the true OG of the Wise Tech Nation. Y'all know him as Paulie D. You can find him on Twitter at Paulie with eight D's. Paulie, what's happening?
What up, man? Dropping sevens on the week 7 to win 17 U's. Mr. CK, proud of you, my man. That's a long time coming. Dirties were done aplenty yesterday. And shout out to MG and the whole rest of the nation. We do this grind every day, every week. I know most of the times we lose because that's how DFS works. But when you get that pop that wins it all back and then some and makes your dick feel about 4 inches bigger, that's what we do this for.
That is exactly what we do it for. Shout out to MG, man. I know MG, ever since the pandemic hit, his work schedule has been different, so he hasn't been able to go into the Slack as much. Normally, he's a Slack warrior. He's always in the Slack trying to help people out and trying to talk out slates and stuff. So shout out to him. Turned $5 into 15 grand over the weekend. I think he only risked less than $100. So yeah, just insane, ROI. Obviously,
Yep.
it was.
Off of your win a little bit. You know, you were like 17x. Motherfucker was 150.
Hey man, I don't care who gets what. To me,
take it.
It is what it
Take
is.
it, right?
Man. That's it. Just taking a roll. So yeah, shout out to MG, man. I was real happy to see. Obviously, I was already happy watching that game and knowing that I was doing well. But the real difference, I don't know about MG, but for me, will put me over the top because I was winning like 8 G's at the end of that game, and I thought that's where I was gonna be. And like when that Metcalf touchdown that got called back, I was like, okay, it's officially gonna be like $3 grand. And then that Hopkins catch at the very end, that put him over the 100-yard bonus, and that was really what did it.
Yes, I disagree. You know, there was a lot of fucking shit. You know, the guy who held on Metcalf's touchdown, you want to thank him. The guy who got the penalty on the field goal, not only the offsides, but the roughing the guy penalty or whatever, the vaulting penalty.
Right. That
was huge. That field goal is no good. The game's over. Like, you got a second win. There was so much, but yeah, they could have thrown to Hopkins with 3 minutes to go in the fourth and got him over the fucking 100-yard mark, and it would have been easy.
But like
playing from ahead.
Absolutely, but if we're gonna look at it from that, we know how much has to go right for someone to really have a real good day. And it started forget about that game. What about the Hawkinson? What about Gurley falling into the end zone and giving Hawkinson one last chance? You wouldn't really get into lucky and luck. It goes further than that.
He was trying to stop, but he didn't. So that got Hawkinson. I know. Yo, it was honestly an amazing slate.
It was, yeah.
I don't like the extra fucking 4 hours, wait till midnight. That's annoying, but for what we got out of it, I'll take it every now and then. But what a slate. What a day of football. It ended up being the guys from that chalk game, but you didn't even need that game to win yesterday. There was plays everywhere. There was guys doing dirts. Fun, lots of come from behind wins. Football's amazing. Football's the GOAT.
It is, man. It absolutely is. No doubt about it. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be tuning in. We did do the Listener League on DraftKings. I fucked up. It didn't fill, so it didn't play. So what I'm going to do tomorrow when I set it up, FanDuel's did go. It didn't go for any money, but it did go. So what I'll do is I'm going to make them free so that they play regardless, and we'll kind of take it from there. I'll announce all that details tomorrow night on the First Look Show.
A reset option where all right, if it don't fill, automatically resize this contest to whatever it fills to.
I'll look into it. I didn't see any options like that. I had a few other people ask me about different things, can you make it so it's not single entry, and I didn't see any of those features. They look pretty basic. I'll take a look, but worst case scenario, I'll just make it free for next week, and we could do our own little thing. Maybe incorporate our giveaway into that. So the Listener League will be out for week 8. We'll give it a run. Tomorrow we will go over the FanDuel one on the First Look Show tomorrow. We'll open it up in the show, give props to the people who entered it and who did well in it, and hopefully we were able to do double time for both sites on the next week. But make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel here in Twitch. Notifications bell on. You don't want to miss any of the free content we do. We do a lot of free content. And again, First Look Show starting off week 8 because it's on to the next after tonight. And that'll be tomorrow night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Patio Joe. staying up late night, because the West Coast thing. But we will get into it. With that said, we've got pretty good. Well, I wouldn't say that. We have a pretty shitty, actually, one-game slate tonight to discuss on Monday Night Football. We got a good one Thursday, but this is not Thursday. This is Monday, and we got to finish the week strong style. We've got the Chicago Bears visiting the LA Rams. We have a 44.5 total. This total opened up at 47. It's down to 44.5, so that kind of tells you what people are expecting of this game. I see that some places say the Rams opened up at 5.5. I've checked a few different sources, and I'm seeing that the game opened up at 7, and it's now down to 6.5. But regardless, it's at 6.5 now. Paulie, we'll go team by team, and then we'll kind of talk about it as a whole, position by position style. But first, talk to me about the Chicago Bears.
Bears. Yeah, there's not much I like on the Bears, but I do think this game will be kind of close, and I think the Rams should be able to score, so it's like, all right, somebody's going to have to do something on the Bears, and I think I'm going to play Allen Robinson, even though, like, most people would probably say it's not a good matchup against his former teammate. But I'm going to roll some Allen Robinson, but, Mooney with Foles, the really cheap tight end, Cole Kmet, first-round draft pick, first tight end drafted last year, scored a touchdown last week, starting to get worked into the offense. And then, like, all the studs from the Rams, if you use him in the captain slot. Or Jimmy Graham is a spot that I like. But I don't like the run game from the Bears, although he could get there basically on volume alone, getting a couple catches, playing from the trail roll, and maybe he gets a touchdown, whatnot. So I'm all right with the Bears RB. But I think they're going to be playing from behind. Slick Dick Nick Foles probably keeps them in it, backdoor touchdown kind of situation. And, I like most of their passing options, even Allen Robinson, even though he's in a bad matchup.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit higher on Montgomery, just for, like you said, the volume. That in combination with, while I do think I expect the Bears to be playing from behind, at least for portions of the game, I do think that because he's been involved more in the pass game and because of how good the secondary is for the Rams. Like, the Rams are ranked 11th against the pass in DVOA. They're ranked 21st against the run. So just looking for the less obstacles possible. I'll have some exposure to him. I don't think it's a high-scoring game, so I'm not expecting a ton of these guys to score a bunch. So like you said, it's just a volume thing. I will have exposure to Allen Robinson. I'll have... Say if I'm doing like 3 teams tonight, I just don't like this game, but I will have one team at least with Allen Robinson and the captain because he's got the highest ceiling, in my opinion, on the slate because of the amount of targets. Like Robert Woods and Kupp, they don't always get 10 plus targets. Like Robinson he's getting that regularly. So tough matchup, but I'm with you on that, man. I'm still willing to give it a shot. I'll acknowledge the lower floor because receivers in general have lower floors in general because you're relying on a ball to be thrown to them, whereas the running back's getting the ball at the gate. So I'm with you on that. Where are you with the Bears defense, man? Like, I hate playing defenses in this thing, but obviously in low-scoring games it calls for it, and they're always long.
Yeah, no, I don't like the Bears defense at all. Yeah. I think it's really overrated, and I like the Rams D.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't like the Bears.
You know who else I like today? I kind of like Darnell Mooney for value. He's been like,
that's the dude,
right?
That's the dude,
right?
Darnell Mooney,
especially with A-Rob expected to be shadowed by Ramsey. Mooney's gotten a consistent 5 targets a game. He did it that one game against the Colts where he had 9, but it's been consistent, right? Yeah. So I'm cool with that. Where are you at with the other receiver that kind of fell off the radar, the slot guy, Miller?
Miller. Yeah. I have zero interest in Miller. I mean, you could, if you were doing MME, you'd sprinkle him in, but to me, he's like the 6th or 7th option at this point. Like, he fell off. Mooney passed him, and he's just falling further and further down the list. Like, Javon Wims has gotten similar targets to him lately. So I don't got no interest in Anthony Miller. He can suck it.
He can suck it. I don't disagree. What about kickers, man? Are you interested in any of these kickers, or at least the Bears one? I guess we'll talk about first.
I like them both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I can dig it.
Yeah. I might have a lineup with kickers and defenses and just like, two fucking real players.
Yeah. Any interest at all in Big Dick Nick?
Yeah, I do like Big Dick Nick. I rarely put the quarterbacks in the captain, but I do think you could put Big Dick Nick in the captain because I think he could spread it around and like none of the receivers have this like massive ceiling game. They all get like 5 catches for 57, 60, 70 yards and a touch. But Big Nick throws the 3 TDs and actually outscores all of them, maybe runs one in, whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So I do like Big Dick Nick, Mooney, Big Dick Nick Komet, Big Dick Nick, and Graham, Big Dick Nick, and A-Rob.
Holla at your boy. I'm with it. Talk to me about the Rams.
Yeah, so I thought this game was on the main slate, so I researched it earlier in the week until I realized it wasn't. And I was into the Rams passing offense. I think that Cooper Kupp in the slot is in a really good spot here. So I like the idea of Goff to Kupp. Woods does play like 40% of the snaps in the slot as well. So like either one of them, I think you play one, not both in lineups. And like I prefer to put. Do we know if Tyler Higbee's playing?
He's officially ruled out, actually.
Okay, that's good. So I like the build with like Kupp in the captain or Woods, Goff, and then Gerald Everett or like a Cam Akers, Malcolm Brown, something like that. Josh Reynolds, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I agree with you. I think it's a really good spot for the interior guys. And like Woods, like you said, they move him around. So that's one thing about the Rams offense. When they want to get someone away from coverage, like they have the tools to do it.
Yeah, they'll motion him. They'll give him carries. I do really like the Rams D. I really like Gerald Everett. I think he's honestly more talented than Higbee as a receiver. It just hasn't stayed healthy enough to really show it. And then, Josh Reynolds, Malcolm Browns, Cam Akers, those guys you just kind of sprinkle in as like a last piece and hope that they catch that touchdown and outscore the other shitty value plays on the slate.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Where are you at with the Rams defense?
I like the Rams defense a lot.
I mean, you got to figure Donald's going to make life difficult for Big Dick in this one. He does it to everyone. It's nothing against him. It's just he does that to everybody.
Yeah.
He's just a monster.
Part of having a big dick.
It is. It's a one of the symptoms, I guess. If you will. I'm with it. With that said, we'll go a little position by position. Well, I guess on these, I guess you know what. Just talk to me of the game as a whole. What's the expected gain script, and then talk to me about the captains that you're the highest on.
So I think we have a close, lower scoring kind of game. 21-17, 24-21. Kickers are in play. Defenses are in play. For captains, I guess my favorite is one of Woods or Kupp paired up with the quarterback and then running a Big Dick Nick and whichever receiver you feel you want to pair him with. Then defense kicker, defense best player available kind of situation. I think Darnell Mooney is like the contrarian large field GPP captain option that I would toy around with. I think Allen Robinson is the contrarian small field GPP option. We expect them to be trailing. Yes, it's a tough matchup, but motherfucker's matchup proof and gets the volume regardless. I think I would consider a defense in the captain. That's really it though from the Bears side. Rams side, like I said, Kupp, Woods, Goff. That's probably it, though. It's probably just those 5 guys. Cup, Woods, Goff, A-Rob, Mooney, captains, done.
The construction of the teams are just so ugly. Like, I mean, there's some situations where, like, you have enough for what would normally be, like, say, 8,600, normally be a decent player, and you look at your options and you're like, no, like, I don't even want that guy on my team. So I think
yes. leave lots of money on the table. It's fine.
That's right. That seems like you might have to almost, like, because it seems like if you use all the salary in some situations, obviously guys are going to be creative, but if you use all the salary like from a basic, just the players you know, and not really using any massive punts, like you might end up forcing yourself onto players that you might not even like. So it definitely seems like a contrarian approach is going to be what ends up taking it away today. With that said, we'll defer to the chat a little bit. See what the chat likes. If you haven't hit the like button, guys, please hit the like button. Those of you watching can follow along with the chat. As you can see, we got it up on the screen here, showing some light on the nation. Shout out to the boy Jeffrey Dates with the lemons. That's some KBO shit. Loving it. Tony A with the Higby out. Tony's always trying to provide the nation with that information, which we appreciate. What up, Moochie? Good to see you. Moochie says Moochie mob ties all day. Lowest owned, highest upside play tonight.
Lowest owned, highest upside. Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Everett.
I'm with it. I mean, Everett. This looks like he looks like the best value play on the board now. I mean, you got to figure, like, obviously Higby was dominating the snaps, but routes ran were the same the last couple of weeks. So it's not like Higby. It seems pretty clear to me that the reason he dominates the snaps at this point is more so about his blocking ability more so than his receiving ability. They have no problem throwing it to Everett. And as we discussed, the middle of the field seems to be where the Rams are most vulnerable. So I do like that a lot. Moochie says Darrell Henderson or Allen Robinson tonight on FanDuel.
Allen Robinson, always.
Yeah, I just got to go with the upside, the ceiling, and he's the one that's got it.
Darrell Henderson's like splitting carries with him and 2 other dudes.
Yeah.
He's just never. I mean, Darrell Henderson's the option 1A, right. But a fumble, a dick pull, like Cam Akers looking hot, and he's not going to have 100%. He's not even going to have 70%.
Right.
Brown's going to get in there. Akers going to get in there. They're going to get Woods some carries. It's that's a split. A-Rob's the guy.
And on top of all that, it's not really a good matchup for any of them. For the running backs, it's like, on top of all that, it's just not really a great matchup. The Bears' defense has been good, 2nd against the pass, 11th against the run. DVOA, of course. That's what we do.
All right.
Die. You know what I mean? Die. Yeah. Let's see. I mean, I think this does seem like a good time to correlate the running backs, whichever one you play, with the defenses, because it does seem like that kind of game where maybe both offenses struggle. One offense is able to get a lead, whether it be by field goals, and then they're just playing conservative. It's a possibility. Just saying. But it's a 1-game slate. You could really do whatever the fuck you want to do. Tony A, would you play Komet?
Yes.
Why not, right? What is he? He's got to be in the hundreds, that guy, right?
Yeah, I think he's like 1,800 or something like that, 1,200.
Damn, son. Yeah, I'd give it a shot. Let's see.
Yeah, he's like 13.5 because he's 2,700 in the captain.
Yeah. Shout out to our boy Chadwick doing hella do dirties. That's right. That's what we do. Let's see. 5 lineups, FanDuel, captain thoughts. We talked about the captain in general. What about FanDuel specifically, where price isn't really a thing because they don't raise the price on the captains? Are there any guys that you would take advantage of on FanDuel?
FanDuel is more like straightforward. I don't really like to get too contrarian in the captain spot on FanDuel. Like a Darnell Mooney, right? Like, it's a lot harder for him to be the guy on FanDuel where, like, you're not getting any bonuses for 100 yards, for, getting a full point per reception, where, like, a 9-catch, 100-yard day, puts you over the fucking top on DraftKings. On FanDuel, it's a lot harder. Stick to the quarterbacks and the number one receivers. Get different elsewhere, throughout the rest of your lineup. But by like playing like Komet and Jimmy Graham in the same lineup or some shit like that, playing multiple running backs in the same game or something where you can get slightly different. But without that 1.5 captain, I don't understand how it works, and I don't play enough on FanDuel to know. And I don't think I've ever played a showdown slate on FanDuel, but they must have like a billion ties with that system, where like the 1.5x on DraftKings, which FanDuel uses for MMA showdown, it really it puts everyone into play because of the point per dollar aspect of it. But on FanDuel, it's just raw point wins. So there's probably only 4 guys I would even consider over there.
I don't disagree. Definitely makes things tough because it just you're rewarded more by not playing the chalky dude there because the ownership's going to be bigger. Everybody can just easily play the best player there, then they're all going to do it. But obviously, it's also risky if you whiff on that. It's just it's hard to really get yourself on DraftKings. The pricing forces you to make uncomfortable decisions. On FanDuel, you have to just have the ability to do that and say, you know what, I'm comfortable losing tonight if I'm wrong, but the upside is too big if I win. So I'm gonna drop the nuts on the table type shit. Do agree.
Drop
them all day. Let's see here. Jimmy Graham or David Montgomery from my boy Moochie?
Jimmy Graham.
I would lean David, but I get it, man. I mean, I don't. One thing about the Bears that I think we all learned against Carolina is their personnel is not very good with the run, right? Their offensive line has no push. We saw Montgomery get stuffed on multiple occasions to a point where they were relying on Foles to sneak it in because they just couldn't punch it in. So I don't disagree. The only reason I would sign with Montgomery is simply volume. Let's see. Who's behind Everett? Yeah, we talked about that. Moochie says, I'm trying to fit in Cup, but I'm $500 short, so I'm settling for Woods. Are you okay with settling for Woods if Cup is the guy you wanted?
No.
Boom. Find a way, Moochie. Boy, Diego, you guys think the Bears are as good as the record indicates? They don't seem like a 5-1 team to me.
No, they're absolutely fucking not a 5-1 team. They're not even a playoff team. They're terrible.
Boom. Drop it like it's hot.
You agree?
No, I agree. I mean, I think their defense is good, but I don't even think it's as good as it has been the last couple of years. The Bears have had a good defense for a little while now, and I don't think they're as good this year as they were. I do think Nick Foles is kind of an upgrade from Mitch. I mean, yeah, Mitch could run a little bit, but I mean, the dude was like Blake Bortles 2.0. It was just on a real level. But I agree with you. I don't think they're good. Look at their team. I don't know. I just don't see it. So I do agree with that. Luke Rose, is it okay to go with Kupp as the captain on DraftKings?
Yes. Not only is it okay, it is recommended.
Recommended. Do you hear it? Recommended. I'm with it. Let's do some picks on the total in the spread here. Make your pick. We've got 44.5, I think is what we said the total was right now. 44.5.
Yeah, I'll say over.
That does seem like there's no more value left in the under. If this thing opened up at 47, there's just no more value left in the under. I think the only play, even though, if somebody was going to say just pick one, no money involved, just pick one, I would say under because I'm expecting a low-scoring game. But if I'm going to actually put money on it, I want to put money where I see value, and there's more value on the over at this point because the number's fallen so far from open. What about the spread here? 6.5.
Bears.
I say Bears too, bro. I think that I know it's kind of wild the way we're talking, but I have concerns about the Rams when they play good defenses. I really do. I get a little concerned. I think they'll move the ball, but then they have some vulnerabilities in their defense also. So I agree. I would go Bears with the points. The Bears with the points. That is. Diego, do dirties. Let's do dirties, gents. Thanks for the stream. Always on point. Much appreciated for you guys following along. Make sure that you hit the like button if you haven't already. Really helps us out. Allows us to continue to do the free content. We got more questions here. Muchi, Allen Robinson or Robert Woods?
Robinson.
Yeah, I would say Robinson, but that one's also tough. Robinson because he's so clearly the number one. Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp are constantly exchanging. Like they're kind of equal to me. It really depends on the matchup. But one thing you know about Robinson, while the matchup is obviously tough with Ramsey, he is the guy that they're going to try to give the ball to. Like they're just going to try, you know. So I do like that as well. Matt Shea says Everett captain lock.
It's not a lock, but I do like him a lot.
I agree. The lock may be a little dramatic, Matt, but I do like the Everett captain team. You could really get a lot with that. And I think he's one of the strongest value plays on the slate now because, again, everybody was priced for their roles. His role just increased, at least in theory. So I do like that. What's up, Kyle? It's all good. What's up, Kyle? Kyle wants to know about Anthony Miller. I know you and I weren't really that interested.
He sucks at
Wow. Mochi, Big Dick Nick or Jared Goff in the captain spot on FanDuel?
Goff.
Yeah, I gotta go with Goff. If I have to pick one or the other, like without knowing the variables. Now, if you're telling me you have A-Rob on that team, you have Mooney on that team, and then you got like Henderson, then yeah, I know for that team go it full. If you're asking me plainly, I'm gonna say Goff. All day.
Ask him
plainly. Golf style all day. All right, Nation, I don't see any questions. That's going to do it. We got, about half an hour, a little less than that, to get the teams built. So, again, come back tomorrow. Myself, Patio Joe, be going game by game. Our first look at Week 8, looking to build on this really awesome Week 7 that we had as a community, and that's really what it's all about. By the way, shout out to Fritz. I'm going to do it again tomorrow on the bigger show. But shout out to Fritz, shout out to D. Millie, those guys. MD Smith, they're always in the Slack chat. Craig, they're always in there. Just breaking down the slate all throughout the week. Normally we have baseball or we have basketball or something going on to keep us, at bay, to keep us rolling. We haven't had that, so it really takes a lot of discipline for people to go in there, delayed gratification, if you will, and put in that work. And a lot of people here have. And if you're not a member of the Slack, I do recommend that you join the Nation. Monthly memberships or higher get you into the Slack, and I recommend you get in there. It's one of the best features we have, and you really get a chance to connect with the Nation and get that community vibe, which I think is super helpful, man. Even for us, bro, like. Obviously, we're the content creators and all.
Your win is special. It's glorious. It made me very happy. But MG did it without Devontae Adams, which I don't love that because he was in all our core plays. But
it was the late slate, though.
He used Jerome Robinson, who I put a blurb in the Slack that, his backup, Chris Thompson, who came on third downs, was on the COVID list. There's no backup. So he was going to be a feature role now. And MG played him. Low ownership. He was actually the best running back on the slate besides the San Francisco guy. And, helped my man win 15 G's. So I was really happy about that. And I said, that's awesome you played him. And he said, I listened. And I was like, Slack chat. Valuable.
And in MG's defense, the only reason he didn't play Adams is because that was the late slate. It was the afternoon and above. So Adams wasn't on that slate. Yeah. The one he won was the afternoon slate. So that's the only. He would have played Adams, and he probably would have done even better. Had he still that same format, but you find a way to plug in Adams, which he would have done because MG, obviously does that. And same result. But yeah, that's the only reason. He definitely would have played Adams. He was in all of our cores. He definitely would have played Adams if he could have. Yeah. But all right, Nation, we appreciate y'all. Like I said, we'll be back at it tomorrow night. Myself, Patio Joe, first look action all throughout the week, doing what we do. Get in the Slack. Hit us up with some comments. We'll probably transition these giveaways more towards these contests, run these listener leagues. So make sure you're paying attention. We're going to open them up for free to make sure that they don't fucking not run on us, because I was looking forward to getting a chance to mix it up with everybody, see what lineups they build, and do more with the content.
I would have won.
Paulie would have won. Paulie would have won. And it didn't go.
I would have won if it would have ran.
And it didn't fucking go. Unbelievable. Paulie stays getting screwed with this bullshit. But it is what it is. He does it for the Nation. I do it for the Nation. We do it for the Nation. For myself, for Paulie D, the entire White Seg Nation, as always, good luck.
Yes.